Assalamu alaikum guys. Today I've prepared a special video for you and it's about helping you make more money in a halal way without riba. And I'm talking about making, let's say, $100,000 saving on your account each year so that you can save your money and maybe buy a house or do something else with your life, because there's not enough Muslim entrepreneurs out there who I see. And it doesn't matter that your name is Faisal or you're Muhammad. Trust me, in business no one cares if you are brown or black. Especially when you talk to the CEOs and entrepreneurs, we just want to know if you can add value to our business or if I can add value to your business. So why is this important? Because as Muslims, we can't take mortgage, we can't take loans. There's some ways to make money. There's halal investments, halal, all that stuff, or halal mortgages, but that's kind of pointless. Like you need to make cash, you need to make money. And I see many Muslims when they come from different countries, they often start their businesses. They have very entrepreneurial spirit, which is great. They start halal shops and butcheries and halal restaurants, and this is great. But in terms of economy, this is very low value economy because you're making physical products, very low profit margins, not very high tech, not very much added value to the current economy. So what I'm gonna focus on are digital skills. This is just my advice from 5 years. I've been 5 years running a company. I think you can do what I did in 2 years if you're smart, if you learn from my mistakes. So let's take it step by step. The first step. What is the first step? You need to have a skill that is currently in demand on the market, and this can be anything. This can be graphic design, this can be UI UX design, this can be programming, this can be front-end development, back-end development, running algorithms. This can be, if you don't know technical skills, this can be marketing. This can be something like running Facebook ads. You can send cold emails. You can run cold calling campaigns. You can do telemarketing. That's a sales skill. Maybe you have a skill in financial modeling, risk management, anything that is sort of like slightly specialized in a specific sort of way, and you have that skill. Now, maybe you're just starting out, you don't have that much ability, so how do you get that skill? So the best way to build a skill, it's the simplest way, it's to go where you work right now, become an employee, and try to become good at that field. So try to get into a department which will allow you to build a skill set which is useful. So maybe right now you're, I don't know, a designer, but you want to really know how to program in Java, or you want to learn how to code, whatever. Get a junior job and learn it. Or maybe you are not a technical person at all, but you see an opening in Salesforce administrative position, which is this giant CRM tool. Maybe you can go and become a certified admin of Salesforce, and that's a high skill in demand. Maybe in Oracle, different databases. There's so many things you can do. And we have a company right now with 80 people where we take people who are literally from the streets, people like singers and people who have no skill, and we make them Salesforce admins in 2 to 3 months. And then we sell them for profit to other companies to work on projects. It is really possible. So there are ways you can position yourself in the economy. So look at what you are good at, where you want to move, and build that skill set. That can take you like a year or two to be really good at something. You want to have a certain level of a skill. You can do this also as a freelancer. So maybe you don't want to have a employer. Maybe you can start a freelancing. You can set up a license and just have 1 or 2 clients and help them do something. That's possible as well. But these two are sort of at the same level. Freelancing and being an employee, it's not much of a difference. You work on a contract, right? What should you be aiming for? Well, the next step from this, the freelancer already has an advantage because he's more on his own, and you want to remove yourself from being an employee and jump into the freelancing. Why? Or maybe you can just skip that and become a company, but it's better to start as a freelancer as well, because what you want to do once you know the skill, you want to collect testimonials. Why is this important? You need to have some track record of doing this for someone. So let's say you run a Facebook ads. You know how to run Facebook advertising or LinkedIn advertising. Well, you maybe have done 5 or 6 campaigns. What you should be doing right now as an employee is difficult to collect feedback under your name because you're working for somebody else. So as a freelancer, you can take testimonials from your clients and put them on your website or your portfolio page that I've helped them increase conversions by 20% or something like that. So you can collect testimonials, build your portfolio, put some logos and start building your niche. What does that mean? Well, you need to specialize in some industry. So for example, you know how you have a skill. Your skill is development. Your skill is Facebook ads. Your skill is JavaScript. Whatever it is, designing, drawing, I don't know, something. Now you have that, but for who are you doing it? This is where most people fail. This is, for me, this was the hardest lesson that I had to learn as well. You need to take that and apply it into specific industry. And so you can maybe say, I'm going to focus on telecommunication, or I'm going to focus on the financial industry, or I'm going to focus on, I don't know, IT industry, and even break it down further, e-commerce or something like that, right? So you need to take what you know, become good at it. Now that you have it, collect testimonials, collect logos, build portfolio, and maybe even go deeper into writing case studies about specific topics, right? With our company, we just focus on mostly IT companies who have custom software development projects. And that's kind of our niche. This is what we do. We help them with marketing. Now, you may have a different way to do it, because I could help a software as a service company. I could help a B2B company. I could help a chain operator. I could help so many companies, but I just chose that because that makes me stand out, because I'm the only guy who does that in the world with my team, and we then can charge premium prices. This is important. So at this stage, you practice as a freelancer, you're getting logos, testimonials. You want to invest in your growth. You want to become better at that skill as well. You want to slowly start preparing your cushion, your money, for opening up an agency. The problem here is many people fell in love with what they do. Maybe they love the graphic design, maybe they love marketing, maybe they love sales, maybe they love development. But remember the point of this video. The point is not to do something you love. The point is to remove yourself from this dunya, from this prison of banking and all that, and make so much money that you become independent from riba and all that, and you can just disconnect from this economy. So how you do that is you have to go above being a freelancer. So now what you have to do, if you want to do this, if you love what you do and you want to be that freelancer guy, that's fine, you can stop here. But if you want to go above, you need to separate yourself from that skill set now. So you've been building it, and now you need to like destroy it and have someone else do it. So what happens? Step 3, setting up a company, setting up an LLC. And at this stage, you already have clients, you already have portfolio, you already know probably in what industry you're gonna focus on, you already know your unique value proposition, which means what's unique about your service for this client. How are you doing the Facebook ads? What's different about your coding? Maybe you have a specific documentation you're doing, or maybe your solution design is different, or maybe you have a great, I don't know, color based in your UI, UX. I have no idea. For me, it was more custom approach to copywriting, more custom emails. So people would be like really blown away by them. And that would like be my selling point above being just a general copywriting expert, or above being like sales expert. Maybe you already know your technology stack. You want to work in just front end. You don't want to ever touch the back end or do any sort of like deployment stuff. Okay, that's cool. Maybe that's your thing, right? So you have to, you already know from practice and from being a freelancer what you want to work on and where you can see the company grow. You have an ideal client profile, so you already know, like, so I want to work with startups who are financed. I have a very specific client profile. So I want to work with software houses between 30 to 100 employees. I want to directly work with a CEO. They don't have a sales team yet. They have several offices scaling up, and they have revenue of at least like €1 million. That's my ideal client. So you have to break it down as well, because you have giant corporations, you have small companies, you have startups, you have like local businesses. You don't want to touch the local businesses. These businesses don't have money. You want to work with companies who are funded, like startups, but really funded well, or like scale-ups, which are startups becoming unicorn, billion-dollar brands. Or you want to work with giant corporations, medium-sized businesses, factories, whatever. So you need to figure that out, like who would be your ideal client for you, for that type of service you offer. And this is the hardest part. I trust me, almost 99% of my clients don't have this figured out, and we always need to help them with this. And what you're doing right now, you are becoming a salesperson. This is what I am. This is like the bread and butter who I am, is a salesperson. And so basically what you need to do, you need to remove yourself from being just a freelancer or this development guy or this graphic designer, and you need to become like sales executive. You need to be able to hold conversations with CEOs of different companies and don't be afraid, and just show them like, no, I'm Mohammed and this is what I do, these are my results, you want to in or not. And you need to become really good at sales. I've done maybe 100,000 cold calls. 90% of people will lose, you will lose. You need to be able to handle that defeat, to handle that loss and move on, and this will teach you so many lessons. This is like really good. And so yeah, that's kind of crucial, to get rejected, to really get like humiliated. You know how many times it happened to me, like a young guy coming to an office where people are wearing suits, and I'm just like, hey guys, you need to change your business, and I'm telling them, and they're like, who's this guy? But then then we signed a contract and it was really good. At this stage, you becoming a salesperson, so this is stage 3, you're ready to start a company. Listen, if you take something from this video, just take this. You make a list of companies you want to work with. Let's say 500 companies. You find them from Crunchbase, from LinkedIn, from different websites. You find the CEOs on LinkedIn, or you find them somewhere on their website. You find their emails. So you create a database. You create like company name, first name, last name, email address, job title, all that. You create a column and spreadsheet. And you really need to work on this. You look at that, you research 1 minute for each company, you try to find something unique about them. And then you set up a cold email campaign. This is really crucial so that you don't spend any money on client acquisition, and you just basically take that spreadsheet, upload it to an email automation tool. You will create templates and everything, and you can start basically approaching these people and asking them if they want to work with you, but giving them real value, saying something like, hey John, I saw that your company is now working with Vodafone on some app and it looks really great. My name is Jan. I wanted to reach out because my company recently helped a similar company like yours generate more leads from Facebook, and if you're interested, I'd be happy to jump on a call and talk about how we can do the same for you. This is the framework of the email. Or if you're a developer, you can say like, hey, I saw that your factory is really taking off and you have invested last year in $1 billion into this department. Wanted to reach out because I recently worked on a project with I don't know, Industry 4.0 machines, and we've developed an algorithm for them, and I think I can share some valuable experience with your IT department if you're interested, so let's catch up for a chat. This sort of framework you need to be able to master and pitch it to all these people. What's going to happen is they're going to start responding, you're going to start booking meetings, and that's when you learn sales. You learn sales in these in-person meetings, in these lunches, in these calls, and you start learning, oh, okay, I see this, and you start learning like who has money, who's just wasting your time. You start seeing things clear, and you start figuring out what should be the price point. How should I price my services? Is it $2,000 per month or $10,000 per month? And you see their faces. Now, I found that sweet balance, but it's never easy. You need to be able to just kind of go until it hurts for them, and that's kind of your limit, right? Once they want to sign up as a client, you have several meetings. It takes maybe a few weeks, but I'm talking about larger deals. So maybe this guy will be worth of $20,000 for your company now. And so you negotiated some price. Now you send them a contract, you sign it. Hooray, we have a client. This is just the beginning. You need to learn how to do accounting now. You need to learn how to build a website, right? You need to know marketing, because right now you have like, let's say 1 or 2 clients in your new company. You're excited. What's the biggest problem here? It's delivery. It's delivering your services, because if you start delivering the services, you will be just a freelancer trapped in your own company, which is the worst scenario, and I've seen many people do that. So you want to remove yourself and you want to focus on sales only, and that delivery, you should build a team. For example, I have a team on Upwork, which is a website where you can hire freelancers. I have a bunch of Muslims there. I have a team in Pakistan, I have a team in Bangladesh, I have a team in Armenia, I have a team in Macedonia, and you basically hire a digital team. Now you can work remotely anywhere, or you hire an office, but this is useless until you have like really good revenue. And you build a team. You build a team of freelancers. You can go on angellist.com as well and hire some freelancers there. You can pay them a fixed fee for a project, or you can pay them by the hour. and you have to be able to create assignments for them. So your role will be now kind of a project manager slash salesperson. You want to have your clients happy once they purchase your services, but you want to make sure that delivery team is solid. So for me, it took a couple of people to rotate until I found a great guy who's been with me for 4 years, who's running all the campaigns. And then we found another person. She's in Pakistan. She runs some campaigns. And so you find these people through several failures. You're hiring, recruiting, and all that. You're building delivery team, right? So you keep your you're looking at the profit margin and seeing how many people can you hire, how much effort is it taking, and how much money are you keeping in. And you want to have your profit margins large in the beginning. You want to have plus 50% minimum. That means if somebody pays you $2,000, you keep 1,000. After all the expenses and taxes, you still have 1,000, which means you can either invest that 1,000 or take it out and have it as a CEO. So this is point 4. You want to outsource yourself from delivery once you have the clients. At this stage, what's important is that you put all your expenses of your individual self on the company. So my car, my gas, my rent, all the things I need for life, I put as a company expense so that I don't have to spend my own wealth on this stuff. I can take it as a tax write-off, right? And you need to think like this as an entrepreneur now, so that you don't take liabilities in your life. Like you don't want to have a car and pay for gas and like a car when you can just put it as a company car, right? You have to think like this so that you avoid spending too much and you keep your expenses very low. Like I live in this crappy apartment for 4 years and I could be living in a beautiful house, but I still keep my expenses low because I need to stack up some dough before I do the large purchase. And so you want to keep your lifestyle very low. You want to do the same thing as you did when you were making no money or making just basics. And even if you make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per month on your own, you still don't want to spend it. So just kind of keep it at the account, maybe, and just stack up the money. And this is basically if you're able to take $5,000 or euros in this case. Anyways, if you're able to take 5,000 per month and save it, that's after all the expenses, after everything, you have 5,000 each month. Look, just do the math. In 12 months, you'll have 60,000, which means in, I don't know, 2 years or maybe 3, you might have $180,000, $200,000. With $200,000, you can buy some house now in just 2 years. And it's not going to be a big one, but maybe until then you can scale up. So for me, this is kind of the focus, and how you can actually speed that up once you figure out that you can take out 5, 6, 7, maybe 4 from your business each month, and it's not going to hurt the business. Now comes another point. Now you have a decision to make. You have some clients, let's say you have 3, 4 clients paying you $5,000. You're making $20,000 as a company. You're paying taxes. You have a team, you pay expenses, and you're left with 5,000. So from 20,000 in, you're left with 5, and that's kind of your work. Okay, that's cool. Now you have a decision. You can either have that as a lifestyle business, or you can scale it out and become like a giant company, but you will have a very low profit margins and a huge risk on the people management. So you'll become like a corporation, which I wanted to avoid. I want to keep my company thin. Or you join another startup, or you find another company. Like I felt after, like for the past 1.5 years, I was bored at my own company because everything was running smoothly. I figured out delivery, I figured out project management, client communication, reporting, accounting, everything was done. And I wasn't even doing sales at this point. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm bored. So I joined another company and became like the chief business guy there. And now I am a partner at this software company where we're expanding it into different markets with Salesforce as like a software company. It's just up to you. Like if you feel bored, if you feel you can take on more, join another company and take another revenue from it so that you now are taking maybe 10,000 per month and you're stacking it up, bro. You're doing it for the ummah, for yourself, for your family. You can support now so many people. You can have so much charity, you can do so many things, but you still keep your lifestyle low. Or maybe you don't want to do that and you want to say like, hey, I'm good with this money and I'm just going to focus on dawah, and I'm just going to focus on the running an NGO or doing something for the ummah. hey, good for you. You can do that as well. There's so many things. Like, for example, I'm focused on the dawah as well as running another company plus this company. And I think this is a good balance for me. But maybe in the future, I'm just going to say screw it. But right now I have a goal. I have a revenue goal as well as everybody else, I guess, a dunya goal. And so you want to figure out the price of the house, for example. So my goal is now the house, right? And I've seen several houses, several properties. And so I want to invest all that cash I was building for a few years into one thing, one property, and just have it locked there. That's what you want to do, because I want to avoid riba. I want to avoid all these loans. There's no other way to do this because we don't have halal mortgages here. We don't have this. If you follow this, it's going to work, but it's very difficult. I mean, I just explained it very quickly, but this is, I mean, subhanAllah, this is not easy. This is not easy what I'm telling you. But it is a way. Every Muslim can take this route. Even if you live in Bangladesh, even if you live in Palestine, whatever, you can still have a digital business. And this digital business can take off very easily. And especially if you're going into B2B where the contracts are several $1,000s or euros, you can build quickly profit margins. You don't have to sell a pen for $1 to make 50 cents, and you need to sell 1 million pens to make some money. This is very low level business. This is kind of like e-commerce. Let's move up and let's become the ummah, and let's focus on the larger deals, because that's where the money are. Know your reason. So you're doing it to buy a house for outside of riba or something like that, right? I'm not gonna do it to show off, and it's still dunya. Don't get attached to the money. It's gonna sound exciting when you maybe make your first sale or something, but it is dunya. It's nothing. You wanna spend some of that money on charity. You wanna spend it on zakat. You can spend it on so many things. You can help so many people, while also achieving the goal of being, let's say, independent from this system of riba, from this economy. And this is how you unplug from the system, by using the system. So you use the system to unplug from it. I don't want to become a slave of a corporation. I don't want to become an employee that 8 hours a day is distracted. Because listen, you need to take care of your wife. And if you want to pay a rent for your family, it's going to be a lot of money. So what? You're going to have nothing left afterwards. Then you have kids. This is not for everyone. So if you have a good job, keep it. If you have a freelancer gig and it's making you good revenue, keep that. I just want to see more Muslim people, Muslim entrepreneurs being involved in this digital software space, not being drawn into metaverse and this crazy Dajjal world, but using the system, the current economy where the high value is, taking it out and spending it on the ummah. And we can then have the halal shops, restaurants, and support the local businesses. But we need people to get inside those industries and take the money out. That's my advice. Take it or leave it. This was part of Entrepreneur Series. Let me know if you want to see more kind of business related videos. I mean, I think it's boring stuff, but I think it's very practical, but it's very boring. Assalamu alaikum.